Hello, I'm Bruce. Welcome to my Clip Talk. Question I'm answering: is Quentin Tarantino daring in his use of the N-word, or is he just racist? Hard question to answer, considering two of the films that it is featured most prominently in, there were during times when it was used extremely prominently. I mean, the antebellum South and fresh off the Civil War. I mean, it's hard to argue with it. My argument would be that his overuse of it and his writing in of characters that he himself plays who says derogatory slurs towards black people. If you pause it right now, go watch the two clips I attached to the file and come back. That would be awesome. It'll help illuminate a little bit. I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, I'm assuming you're back, which is great. Wonderful to have you, Professor McAllister. Anyway, so the main problem with his use of it in his films is how often it is said. In the Hateful Eight, and in Jackie Brown, it is said over 35 times each. I believe it's 35 times in Jackie Brown and 53 times in Hateful Eight, and only 8 times of those are said by Samuel L., the only black character in the movie. In Django, it's said 110 times. It's the record for most N-words said in any movie ever. Kind of shocking considering it's a white writer, and it's a lot of controversy about it, and it has caused a lot of controversy. But the main argument against that is, hey, it's the antebellum South. It's how it would have been. It's how often it would have been used. I argue, I understand that. Not a whole lot of his movies are historically accurate. Why does that have to be the only part of it that is? That's an issue I have with it. The other issue I have with it is that he writes in characters for his movies who say these things, who say the N-word in just outlandish fashion. As in the first clip in Pulp Fiction, he says it 3 times in 30 seconds, just off whim, just because he wants to. I mean, that's absurd to me. I don't understand why or how he would have said it. In addition, Samuel L. came out after Pulp Fiction was released, and he said, I told Quentin not to say the N-word in that scene, or at least not to say it how he said it, because the hard R is extremely, it's not worse necessarily, but it's worse, if you understand what my meaning. And the fact that he still went on and did it caused a lot of controversy in the fact that it's just uncomfy to watch. When I was watching it myself, and I've seen Pulp Fiction, and it didn't hit me as hard the first time I saw it, but when I was watching the clip again, I was like, man, he just like throws it out there. And I mean, it's just a problem that I think he needs to understand is an issue, and he needs to address. Moving on, he has been shown to use it in everyday life. He uses it in an interview after the Golden Globes. He got asked a question about it, but he still didn't need to use it. He just says it. And I feel like I understand that there's a big controversy about it, and a lot of people don't watch his movies anymore because of it, but I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger, and he needs to be kind of reined in with it. Because it's his free use, it's his overuse of the word that is the biggest problem for me. And while in the Django Unchained scene, it is not specifically him saying it, it's still white slave traders. And while he doesn't specifically use it in the clip that I sent, he does call Django some pretty scathing, derogatory terms that I personally have an issue with hearing him say, especially since he wrote in the character. He wrote the character to say these things, and he just said it. And he was just like, yep, this is what I'm going to do. Writer's integrity, you can't do anything about it. That rubs me the wrong way. And it rubs me the wrong way. And of course, all of these movies, his argument can always be, well, it's historically accurate. It's historically accurate. I understand that. I get that. I think we all get that. But you don't need to use it in Pulp Fiction. You don't need to write in a character who uses it in Pulp Fiction. You don't. The only character in Pulp Fiction who should be saying it is Julius. That's it. Or Jules, sorry. That's it. He's the only one who should be saying it. And while I'm a proponent of it shouldn't, I'm not going to say it. I don't think it should just be a black person thing, but there's no reason to say it, like, at all. There's no point in having it still be in our vocabulary. But it just causes, his use of the N-word causes underlying issues with people who go and see his movies and say, oh, Tarantino can say it, I can say it. I mean, this is perfect, I can say it. No, you can't. He shouldn't say it. You definitely shouldn't say it. But that is my biggest problem with it, is just him writing in characters that are supposed, that use it, that he will end up playing, as well as how often he uses it. I mean, it's said it's the third most used curse word in any movie he has made. Like, of all of them combined, it is the third most used curse word, and it doesn't show up in 3 of them at all. It's bonkers. It's bananas to me. I am of the belief that Quentin Tarantino is racist, at least in a marginal sense. I don't think he's going to KKK rallies, but that is my thought on it. I will leave you to decide on your own how you think about it. And I apologize for this being a full minute long, but I hope you have a wonderful time watching. I hope this was somewhat insightful, and thank you. Have a wonderful day.